At midnight, a small figure dressed in a black hooded robe quietly breaks open the library window using its crowbar and slowly slide his way inside. He fell in with a thump, causing dust cloud to form, making the burglar begin coughing and wheezing for air. The burglar removes its hood to try and gain more air. The burglar is revealed to be just a young frail boy who looks around 15 or 16 years old. He has copper skin, two small horns, short tangled black hair, and cat-like dull golden brown eyes. The worn-down robe he has hung loosely on him, giving his appearance and whole a sense of fragileness, like a broken rag doll that is on the verge of tearing apart at any moment. Once he got himself together, he could not help but flinch as soon as the musky damp smell of wood hits his nose. "Ugh, why does smell so awful?" the boy complains as he begins to survey the inside of the library, and to his surprise, it looks abandoned and in a stage of deterioration, even though he had seen strange men in green suits was moving in and out of the library. The library had broken chairs, worn-down tattered books that are scattered about on the dust floors, and the shelves looks like it is on the verge of collapse. Adding in the darkness, it makes the area, making it look much more daunting. He closed his eyes as the memories of all the tales of how people who went in either came back different or vanish altogether. The idea of becoming part of the tales caused fear to pulse through him, like, I am going to let that happen. The boy becomes very determined to see this mission through, and calming his beating heart, that's right, to make a better future for my sister. I need to receive that book and give it to that man. Digging through his book bag, he pulled out a crinkled sheet of paper that halves the location of the book, and a flashlight before navigating his way through the mess, while trying not to jump at the sound of the floors creaking and the rustling of the fabrics that collecting dust on tables and chairs. Once he reaches the destination, he could not help but gawk in awe at the sight of the gigantic wooden door that is being blocked by yellow tape. The door looked newly made, which is weird when it is compared to everything that he had seen so far. The aura that it was giving off was ire yet comforting. He walks over the yellow tape so he can get a closer look and touch it before recoiling back when felt a vibration coming from it. It took everything he has to not bolt out there. "Stop acting so scared, it's nothing but more than your mind playing tricks on you." Sucking his teeth, he turns the knob. The darkness from the tunnel swallows the light coming from the flashlight, forcing him to use the wall as a guide. It should be down here. When he reaches the entrance, he immediately got enchanted by the book once he lay his eyes on it, to the point of not noticing the harsh whispers and the dark shapeless figures shifting around as he places a foot in the room. Who would leave an expensive-looking book in such a depressing place? There's ain't even any traps or guards to protect it. He could not help but wonder as he made his way there. Honestly, maybe it is a good thing that I am taking this, he thought as he picks it up. "Wow! This is heavier than I originally thought," the boy stated as he stumbled backward a little bit. His muscles freeze up and his eyes widen in shock when he took notice of the title of the book in large bold red letters: The End of Humankind. Humankind? Ain't humans just a myth? Unable to control himself, he sat down on the floor and began reading, not even noticing that the shadows that were once near the wall begin to worm their way closer. He snaps out of his trance when he starts losing the feeling in his legs. He looks down and sees the shapeless figures with white owl-like eyes wrap themselves around his waist, causing him to scream as he tries to scoot away, but much to his horror, he learns that he could not move a single muscle. His eyes welled up with tears as the shadow's hands begin to reach out for his face, leading him to try even harder to move while screaming out for help. "I don't want to die." His heart drops to his feet when he did not feel a floor anymore and begin to free fall. His vision faded in and out as the world around him was swirling. The last thing he saw was the malice red grins and white eyes. The boy was forced awake by insufferable heat pressing down on him. "Ah, what happens?" the boy groaned as he places a hand on his head. He opens his eyes and was assaulted by the sun. "Where am I?" Once his eyes adjust, he finds himself surrounded by sand. He begins to panic as he got up and tried to find any form of civilization. He spotted an unfamiliar city at the distance. How did this happen? "I was just at the... Wait, those things, dot." The memory of those ghostly figures causes a shiver to go down his spine, anger well in his chest as he slowly comes to realize that he might have been tricked. There's no way that man didn't know that this was going to happen. Dang it, I knew shouldn't have accepted. He kicks the sand in anger and regrets. What am I going to do now? That is when he realizes something was the ground. It's that book. He frowns and turns away. This had happened because of that book. I am done with this. I need to get back to the ally. Elizabeth is probably scared to death as he walks. He slowly begins to feel a sting sensation at his chest, which he completely ignores only after walking 9 feet. Pain ripped through his chest, causing him to nearly collapse. What's going on? Pulling his shirt up, he saw a weird tattoo right where his heart hit. The tattoo was red in form and a spiral formation with 3 dots above. It reminded him of a bear's paw. What the heck is this? He went back to the book and picked it up. It has to be connected to this book. He frowns as frustration begins to swell inside him. I can't go anywhere without this. Letting out a frustrated sigh, he simply quickly places the book in his book bag. A lot of questions swirl inside his head and no answers for them, but at the end of it all, he knows that he would not get anywhere by standing here, so he begins his journey to civilization.